Hi, I'm Julio Oriana. This would be lesson 7 and 8. Defining the lessons and everything in my research with them. Furthermore, let's go over what I've learned on lesson 7 and 8. Lesson 7, we go over interpersonal communications, which is communications between two people. Conversation, matter of fact. Interpersonal communications have two, no, actually three qualities. These three qualities are, oh, the first one's quality. Matter of fact, for example, as in the book it says, you'll have a different quality conversation with your significant other, your girlfriend or your boyfriend, than you would with the waitress, or the waiter. And that is a true note on fact. As I was conducting my research, I went on many, I was with my girl, I was with my coworkers and everything. And I have a different quality conversation with each and every one of them. I mean, clearly with my girl, my conversation is going to go up, down, left, and right, everywhere. And I'm going to be really centered. I'm just going to talk to her about everything, my personal feelings, everything. As with my coworkers, it'd be literally strictly more about work situations and everything and nothing else. I'll try to get more information out them, more rapport and everything. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be the same quality conversation. Furthermore, next one will be influence, because this is a big thing, especially in interpersonal conversation. You're gonna be influenced, and you're gonna get influenced by the person you're having conversation with. Influences could be just on topics y'all are talking about. About what y'all's beliefs are politically, religiously, and all that. But definitely, you're gonna be influenced by a great deal. And then the next one would be relationships wise. By relationships, a lot of people think of it romantic wise. A lot of people think about it, something being, intimacy. But it's not like that. When we're talking about relationships in the speech practice, we're talking about family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, all that type of stuff. And moving forward to that, there are two types of relationships you can have circumstantial relationships or choice relationships. Now, circumstantial relationships are relationships that are made out of because of a place you hold, a group or something. Family members, co-workers, all of that, classmates. And now, choice relationships are going to be your relationships that you choose to have, such as your girlfriend, boyfriend, a family that isn't blood bond or anything, friends, all that nice stuff. Furthermore, the biggest thing on top of why we talk to people is attraction, which is further going on more about our relationships. Attraction is a big thing. It's what makes us talk to people. It's what makes us open up and actually have a conversation with people as well. And our attraction can go both ways, sexual, physically, or mentally. Now this is a big deal because a lot of people think about attraction as something sexual, something you see, but it's not like that. It's not something about body parts or anything like that, or face or beauty. It can also be about about a person's personality, they're complimentary towards you and everything. You as a straight male, a heterosexual male, can still be attracted to someone who is a heterosexual male as well, just because you find their personality complimentary. And God, this sounds weird, but off my research, my best friend, I'm attracted to him, but because of his complementary, similaristics, characteristics towards myself, we complement each other so much, as opposed to how I found my girlfriend attractive. I found her off her looks physically, sexually. I find her attractive and all that. And matter of fact, I even find her personality attractive, and that's a big trait. Something a lot of people forget, and why a lot of relationships end at the end. But definitely that's a big deal. Further on, let's carry on to what is next. Let me just read my notes real quick. This is a complimentary. Okay. So, next thing would be how to establish a relationship and what type of relationships are the best. Similarity relationships, it would be the worst. They would be the worst because you'll get built so bored of that person so quick. Think about being in a room with someone who is identical to you and everything. You're going to be so quick and bored because you know everything what they're going to talk about, because you already know that person. There's nothing new, nothing exciting to discover about. Whereas if you find someone who opposite of yourself, opposites do attract, by the way, and that is a very true statement. You will find someone opposite to yourself, you will in an instance be attracted to them, like it's off the bat. But however, the best ones would be a complementary, where both of y'all have similar views, beliefs, and everything, but y'all's actions complement each other. As an example, would be a disorganized person might find the attraction towards someone who's really organized. You know, they find that and they compliment them because they'll be cleaning up their mess. Which, I mean, I don't see how it's right, but it's right and it does work and it is true. You know, I've seen it happen in so many cases. You know, but definitely and also, you know, the biggest thing I find about attraction is that the first 3 minutes in the conversation and making this relationship is the biggest thing. And this I can certify you is true. The first 3 minutes is the first impression that you're gonna leave and is gonna decide on their bias and what they think about you. And this also has to do a lot with the Jonheim window, with the passive, active, in interactive steps towards the conversation. All of this deals with the first 3 seconds, you know, because those first 3 seconds are going to give your best impression. And I can agree with this because as myself, I go out, I have to go market, I have to sell accounts and everything. I have to talk to random people that I meet. You know, I have to get the word out. So definitely, you know, I need to find a way to introduce myself. So what I do is I dress up professionally. I talk to someone up the and definitely, I can tell you about the first 3 minutes of our conversation. I'm already judging them, and they can already judge me, and I can tell if they're gonna get an account or not, and they can tell if I'm here for business or not. You know, if I'm being silly. So yeah, definitely, I would say it is the first 3 minutes. And looking back, you know, I talked to my girlfriend. You know, the first 3 minutes of us meeting, I already had the idea with her. She decided the same one, and you know, it was just a clickbait. You know, because we complimented off the bat and it really does make a big difference. You know, I mean, later on it could change, but it's the first 3 minutes that make a big difference and decide a lot of things. So definitely, your first conversation, your first impression, big deal, because you can. That's where you're gonna leave to make those people impress and think about you. So when people tell you it's a big deal, it is a big deal. Now moving forward, we're going to talk about maintaining a relationship, which falls into the last in about our lesson 7 and falls into lesson 8. Now, maintaining a relationship is a big thing because it comes with the idea that you can make a relationship, you can become friends with anybody. However, However, maintaining that relationship is a big deal. You know, finding closure, keep on talking, finding discussion topics. You know, maintaining want to question the person, but to the point where it's both sides questioning each other, not just one side. And on top of that, you don't want to be so self-absorbed talking about yourself. You also want to hear the people out because listening does play a big deal into this. You know, especially in the interpersonal communications, it is a big deal, and that falls back all the way to lesson 3. So definitely carrying over, maintaining relationships goes on both ends. Okay, it's mostly a big deal in chapter 8 because how are you gonna supposed to maintain a relationship? Well, how are you gonna do it and everything? You know, family matters, friendship matters, and it's the fact that how you listen to them, how you respond to everything, and how you feel before the moment and during that moment, and when problems arise, how are you gonna maintain that relationship? And that's literally what all chapter 8 is talking about. Now to go further more into detail, chapter 8 talks about, you know, you gotta step back, especially with problems, because what chapter 8 talks about is the initiation towards talking to people. You know, your initiation process where you get to know each other first off, you know, hi, greeting, and then your exploration, you start asking, you start building up rapport, you start wanting to know this person. Then the intensification comes up where you decide to do your friend and you put trust towards them, they put trust towards you, and y'all talk together. And then as if this is like for romantic relationships, you know, sexual relationships, intimacy plays a big part. You know, you start being a little bit physical and more emotional and giving each other secrets, you know, knowing each other off the bat. Now there is about the worst side towards it, you know, what is you know, just the erosion towards it, which is turmoil. You know, just you start seeing faults in people, the stagnation. You just start wanting to leave them. You know, a little bit more, you know, physical to yourself. You know, you're not as talkative with them. Indeed, then there's the de-intensification. You're not trusting them anymore. You're keeping it to yourself, which leads to individualism. You're just by yourself. You only trust yourself. You're not talking to them. And then separation, where you're not even with them at all. And then further on, it will be the last one, will be post interaction, and this is the idea of makeup to breakup. I mean, breakup to makeup, where like relationships, they just play a big part in our life. They're changing. There's something to evolve and help us grow and become better in life and as a human being. So definitely, you might fall back, you might miss the person, you might hit them back up, and that's not a bad thing. But definitely, don't you might make up to breakup. I mean, break up to makeup. But yeah, and then this carries on also as well. Breaking up or coming to problems, you need to know how to manage these problems and how to break up. A lot of people are nowadays breaking up over text or over the phone, something easy, something so they don't have to face the confrontation. Now, how are you going to solve these problems? Well, like I said, you don't want to solve these confrontations. So there are 3 ways to solve these problems. The first one is non-confrontation. So instead of dealing with the problems, you just let it be. You don't want to deal with it, or you don't even want to meet them face to face. Or confrontation. You might want to talk to them, or something. You might want to go through with something, talk about it, see what's going on, and work out something. Or cooperativism, where both sides talk about a problem and try to find a solution towards it. Because the best relationships are dealt with people who can solve problems, not avoid them, not fix them. Fix them, yeah, or not avoid them or push them aside. It's to solve these problems and find a way to strengthen their bond together. Okay, this is what builds customer relationships. This is what builds relationships with your people, and this is what's going to help you build a steady, strong relationship. If you're looking forward to finding someone special in particular. But there are many types of conflicts and everything. You just need to learn how to manage them, and the best way to manage them is to control your emotions, control your information beforehand, know if the information is true or not, and talk about it. Because you might be hungry, you might be tired, and when you get hit with bad news or a problem, you're gonna flip the switch and you're gonna be mad, and that is true. I can say from my own personal research today that I did in the field, even today, customer going off on me. I had not eaten lunch or breakfast. I had just woken up, and let me tell you, it was not pretty. We were going back and forth and everything, and management had to step in. So definitely, it does play a big deal, and talking to your coworkers as well. My last video, by the way, got canceled, so this is my new video. It just didn't upload. It just went away. I guess YouTube put my limit on it, but this will be my new YouTube video. All right. But definitely that does seem to cover everything, and I'll be posting my speech one on here soon. As for just my thoughts on the thing, it's just critical thinking. Like I said, you just gotta listen to the people. You gotta find a lot of places, and I find it's really common sense. It's something you just learn on TV. Social norms and everything. But it's also it's so common that a lot of people overthink it. They overthink about conversations and everything. And it's a big deal to know what to do when you're talking to people and how to deal with it, how to deal with conflicts and everything. Be sure you're reassured and everything. Be calm and steady. Because at the end of the day, nobody really wants to deal with problems. So when they deal with it, they want to deal with it as quick as possible and get out of their face. So you just have to memorize that and know how would you deal with it, and you would do the same thing if you were them. And that's what I believe. Doing all this research has really taught me, and also, this research has helped me a lot too, because I've learned good ways to sell now, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know who else might see this video up on YouTube. I don't want to be giving out my hints or anything, but definitely, it's giving me a way to start a conversation up and talk about my products and everything. So the speech classes really helped me forward a lot into everything. I just can't wait for the speech. And I know I seem really unprofessional right now and everything, and I stutter a lot, but trust me, when that speech comes, I'm going to be ready. But this is it.